One of the shining stars for me, my humble opinion in comic books right now, has been Ghost Machine Comics. They're published through Image Comics, and they have been putting out some magnificent stories. So I saw this book that they had probably, I want to say maybe 2 months ago, called The Rocketfellers. Now, it didn't look like a book I'd be interested in, but something told me you probably need to check out this book. So I said, okay, I'm checking it out. Couldn't find a copy in my local comic book store. I didn't go into bins and look for back issues. They probably had it. So I said, you know what? I'll buy a digital copy of issue number one. And if I like it, then I will order one, two, and three from Midtown Comics. Needless to say, I'm covering this. So I really like this book. This book is very enjoyable. So let's get into this. The Rocketfellers. Let me bring this in a little bit so you can see all of it. And I brought that in a little too much. Bring it out a little more. And yeah, there we go. I think I need to zoom out just a little bit. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, now we see everything. Okay, we're good. So this family in this book kind of reminded me of the Fantastic Four. That's what they felt like, in my humble opinion. And they also felt like, what is that? What is that family? Why can't I remember the name of this show with the Robbins family where they went out into space? Somebody in the comments jog my memory. I don't know why. I just brain farted. They just actually rebooted the series on Netflix. Pretty good series, by the way. But this book is marvelous. I will say that Ghost Machine Comics has some of the best artists and colorists in the business, along with writers. They've been writing fantastic stories. These stories have been absolutely riveting. So this book, the writer is Peter J. Tomasi, Francis Manapul is the artist, Rob Lay is the letterer. The Rocketfellers, even this picture, the way all of this looks, this is just, it's magnificent. It's a wonderful book. Okay, we'll read the intro. It says, in the picture-perfect 25th century, the Rockefeller family, living a disconnected and emotionally distant existence, discovers a terrible secret. In their hands is the fate of humanity. Hunted down, the Rocketfellers, enroll in the Time Zone Protection Program and escape to the present-day Earth. If they can't find a way to trust each other in this strange ancient world of today, they and our future will perish. And that's a lot to hold on the shoulders of one family. And can we just take a minute to recognize the beauty in the art and coloring of Ghost Machine Comics? I mean, consistently across all of their books thus far, I have seen some of the best color work in comic books, period, hands down. No matter where you go, I have seen some of the absolute best. These guys, they're really killing it. Come on, Dad. What's the big surprise? Where are we going? We're taking a big family adventure, Richie. Think of this like a short vacation. We'll be back home before you know it. Both of you aren't making any sense. Is this going to be a quick vacay? Or if this is going to be a quick vacay, why didn't we pack any clothes? Because it's a short trip, silly. Like Mom said. How short? Short like me. It's always good when you see like young characters like this in a book. That's why I said this family kind of reminds me of, I'm trying to take this page up. It won't let me go up. That's why this family kind of reminds me of the Fantastic Four in the way this is written. Excuse me. I'm trying to adjust my screen here, adjust everything I have going on. And let me see. Let me move this back. As I'm adjusting my screen, everything is moving over and just going all over the place. This is the one thing about trying to capture this stuff in OBS sometimes. Sometimes OBS just does what it wants. And it can be rather annoying at times. Okay, so we're back over here. And can I grab the bottom of this and kind of bring this up a little bit? Or maybe I can bring this top down. Maybe that's what I'll do. Okay, there we go. There we go. We're figuring it out. Okay, I'm getting it worked out here. Okay, so now you see an older lady and an older man. This is the mom and dad. And so they say, oh, that's why I remember why I had it bigger now. It's because I couldn't see some of the words on the screen with it small. So I might go up and down. Forgive me as I try to get this adjusted. I should have done this beforehand, but you know how that works. Anyway, so the dad says, why are you flying so low, Rachel? Stop backseat driving, Rodney. She knows what she's doing. Beacon pulse indicates the time pod is just over that next rise, Rach. This is, again, like I said, Ghost Machine does some of the absolute best drawing and color work I've seen in comics. If anybody spots something outside, call out, okay? Like a snowbird, Grandpa? Yes, Ray, like snowbirds. Spot what? Is something wrong? We're not on a vacation, are we? Locking on the beacon, hold tight. I'm hitting the thrusters and then you see them get whacked by something. And this is crazy. And I like the way, let me see if I can show you this, the way they drew the name. I gotta bring this down. The way they drew the name Rocketfellers in this ice right here. They won't let me do it anyway. I kind of hate the way Kindle goes through comic books. I think I mentioned this the other day. I don't really like the way this is set up. I think Apple does this way better, Apple Books. I think next time I purchase a book like this, I'll do it on Apple if they have it there and just read it there because much better experience. Anyway, where did that missile come from? I didn't see another craft on the scanner. It doesn't matter. Whoever fired it is still tracking us from the house. Tracking us? A missile? What's going on? Grandpa's leg looks bad. The pod's that way. So they're running, obviously, to some pod. Move this over a little bit. Or maybe just move this over so I can see. Yep, that actually makes more sense. This has been an experience trying to work through reading all this stuff on this Kindle app. Like I said, I'm really not a huge fan of this Kindle app. It doesn't really suit me too well. Okay, so anyway, they're running to the pod. He's had worse. Keep moving, Richie. You heard my better half. Keep rolling. Mom, Dad, are we okay? Can you keep up? I see people following us. They're hover bikes. Don't look back, my darling. Keep running. And don't worry about us. Rodney, some things. Let's show these kids we still got some steam. Rose, what are you? And you see the ice has started to crack beneath her feet. This is the color work, the action, the script, the way you're now drawn into the characters that you don't even know. I've never heard of these characters, never read this book before today, and this thing grabbed my attention immediately. Like, immediately upon reading this, I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to have to read more from Ghost Machine or more from this series right here, The Rocketfellers. Very good book. Don't move. The ice is cracking under my feet. Target acquired. 4 kilometers ahead. Roland must be captured alive. All other family members are expendable. Wow. and this is a menacing character, whoever this is. Rosie, our ship's impact. The ice is splitting faster, so the impact of their ship on the ice obviously compromised the integrity of the ice, and they didn't notice it until it was too late. Unfortunate. There just wasn't enough time, Rodney. What are you doing? Someone has to slow Chronix down. So that thing you saw is obviously Chronix. Something's happening, Daddy. What is it, Ray? I think Grandma and Grandpa are in trouble. Rachel, take Ray. Keep following the beacon signal. I'll be right behind you. Dad, why are you... And she stops. Listen to me, Rosie. I'm coming out to... Please, stay back, darling. Don't come any closer. No, we all have to leave together. I'm not letting... Chronix won't stop. You know what's at stake. So she takes her necklace off and she throws it at him. This is riveting. So she yells out, go, goes to crack the ice. She's trying to give him time. And he screams, Rose. He grabs the chain. This is like if this was a movie, this would be one of those moments where everybody's in tears. I love you all. She tries to pull Chronix down to her. And you see the son, Roland, he says, we might still be able to. She's sacrificing herself for us, son. But Dad, we can't just leave. Come on. We can't make this for nothing, boys. So he's like, yo, she's sacrificing herself. We have to make this sacrifice count. This cannot be for nothing. And you see her going down into the ice and you see this character Chronix. This art, I love this art and the coloring, the pencil work, the inks, all gravy. They have some of the best work in the business, man, for real. That was a rash decision, Rosemary. If you help me bring them in, you will also help them survive. And you see the ice cracking. And now she's beginning to stutter a little bit because, of course, the ice is cold. She says, maybe going numb, but I'm not delusional. Intent on playing the righteous martyr role, huh? And then she says to Chronix, going to stand there and let an old woman freeze to death? That's what I thought. I'm sorry. You're really not. You're right, of course. Wanted a good death. Make sure I gave them enough. And then Chronix realized time. She was buying them time. She didn't catch on to that, initially when she came here. So now she realizes, oh, I've kind of been duped. She was buying them time. That's what was going on. Chronal energy signature detected in a tree line. Yes, of course there is. Bravura performance, Rosemary. Getting hard to breathe. I won't let you die alone. Well, that's noble of this character. And then you see the mom sink into the ice. And before that, she says, we all die alone. My goodness, man. The drama just in that alone. And again, I don't know if I mentioned earlier, none of them have any powers that I know of. And I notice in most of Ghost Machine comics, you don't really see people with powers other than Geiger. I think Geiger is the only books thus far that you see a powered individual. Other than that, it's just been a hero's journey, hero stories. And look, people don't always have to have powers in a book for it to be enjoyable. I personally prefer superheroes, but clearly I enjoy a book like this, so a book like this can definitely work. I'm definitely digging it so far. Almost there, a little further. Shouldn't we wait for everybody else? Your father said to meet at the pod. What's the pod? That's the thing taking us on a short vacation. Ray, how did you... Is that it, Mom? Yes, this is it. What do we do now? And she says, wait. Uh, where's Rachel? Yay, Daddy and Grandpa. Not a lot of time. Where's Rose? All right, pod's powering up. And Reggie said the time zone would be randomly set once we initiate. Roland, I asked where's, and this was this man, the way they did this, man, like this was really one of those scenes in a comic book that really did pull at your heartstrings. So she says, "What do you mean, Roland? Rose is my mom. She's gone. We've got to go now. Everybody into the pod. They're coming. Bad people to hurt us, Daddy? No one's going to hurt you, Ray. I promise. There it is. Come on, Rex." So they're telling the dog to get up in the vehicle or in the time pod. It's gonna be all right, kids. Thanks to your grandma. Chronopod initiate. Voice recognize. Commencing time zone jump. This is crazy. We've got you. So you see Chrono reaching in, thinking that, he's going to make some damage. And then Roland says, or not Roland, his wife, Rachel, "You've got nothing. Group hug, everyone." So now they're zapped into another time zone. And again, I have seen comic books where colors are done like this. And there's a lot of colorists that really don't know how to do this, how you can show depth with your colors. Now, I'm no colorist and I'm no artist, but I do recognize when people are able to do certain things like with art. When you see people that are able to really convey the flow of a picture, like the motion of a scene with their art, that's a rare talent. And so far, the quality control of their artists, their ink work and colorists at Ghost Machine Comics is really top tier. They are really on top of their game with this stuff. I appreciate all of the books I've seen from them thus far have been really wonderfully done. I got to give them their flowers, while they can get them. Where are they? Not where, when. Wow. First impressions are everything. And expectations. You sure that's enough food for everyone? Olympia, Washington, the present, 2024. We're talking right about now, excuse me. Okay, let's get this Thanksgiving Day barbecue started. So who's hungry? It's a novel idea. Thanksgiving Day barbecue. I've done a lot of things on Thanksgiving. I don't think I've ever done a barbecue on Thanksgiving Day. About time you finally had a cue rolling. Or Ronald. He called him Ronald. And he says, "Roland. Right. Sorry there, Roland. See, you've been here over a year you've been here over a year and still I forgot you and I still forgot your name. Well, we've missed a lot of neighborhood events, which is why we decided to have a Thanksgiving blowout and finally get to know everyone on the block, Johnny. It's Tony. Guess I just proved my own point, Tony. Apologize for my suboptimal recollection. No worries. Never had a Thanksgiving Day pool party before. Surprised you got those propane and pool heaters to generate so much heat. Well, helps that we had a mild day, and with a little tinkering, you'd be surprised how easy it is to bypass manufacturing limitations. So obviously they're from the 25th century, way into the future. So of course they would have some tricks and some things that they would understand that nobody else understood. So now you see all of the ladies sitting down talking. I don't know how you do it, Rachel. Do what, Vivian? Is it scary driving that helicopter? Not at all. I love flying. I love flying it, especially at that time of morning. Harry helicopters. Cute. And he's got a sexy traffic update voice. As safe flights really my only concern, Connie? Ah, come on. Doesn't he sit right next to you on in that thing? Clean thoughts, girls. I think Rachel here needs another tequila martini herself. And then you see the grandfather is doing some pull-ups and he has a weight attached to himself. This dude is a grandpa's a beast. He's preparing for war. I think probably what happened is, especially after what happened to his wife, he's probably thinking to himself, I will never let this happen again. Not bad for an old guy. And then you see him grunt 125. I add a pull up after every birthday. Keep in tip top EDF shape. EDF, Earth Defense Force. Never heard of that. Oh, yeah, sorry. It was phased out, part of a special forces unit. When was your birthday, Rodney? A week ago. You don't look a day over 70. Actually, I actually turned 125. Come by for bingo night, Mr. Comedian, and bring those broad shoulders of your. Stop it, ladies. You're making me blush. You know, Grandpa's a little show off doing his thing. I'm sure he's got some enhancements that allows him to do some of these things. I am sure of it. Hey, everybody. Um, Here, everybody, for the rain. Aren't you a cutie pie? What's your name? Ray. That's such a pretty name. It's really sunny out. I'm not sure we'll need umbrellas, Ray. Maybe later if it gets cloudy, kiddo. Okay, but don't blame me if you get wet. Come on, Rex. So clearly she knows something that they don't know. So no relation to like the really rich Rockefellers? Rockefellers, huh? Don't I wish our house would be a lot bigger. My room would be a lot bigger. Our pool would be a lot bigger. And we be riding in a Grav car 4000 with solar thrusters instead of a VW minivan. A Grav car? What are solar thrusters? Look, we got a T before the F in our name, and that makes the difference between never working again and always working. Rocketfellers are not Rockefellers. Got it? Want to see something cool? Sure, what is it, Richie? I call it tsunami. Huh? Salami? No, dummy. Like a tidal wave. Looks like a big marvel. Been working on it for a science project. Haven't tested it yet. You think I should here? Sure, why not? So he throws this thing in a pool and you see some bubbles, some things bubbling up. Now, obviously, like I said, they're from the future. So they would have some knowledge of things that the average person of this time would not have. So they're able to do some things that the average person of this time probably cannot do. I see some bubbles starting too. And then you see, it's things like this. Like this is almost like you can feel the fun emanating from the book. And this is the thing that I've noticed with a lot of these artists and writers from Ghost Machine Comics. The way they convey things both in their writing, in their colors, and in their pencil work. It's like Voltron coming together to form this one big thing. And man, they do such a good job. They really do. I wonder why they're going through Image, why they didn't just all get together and start their own thing. Because it's some real industry heavy hitters they got working. One of them, Jeff Johns, who I'm familiar with. I've been following him for years, but I wonder why they couldn't just pull together and do their own thing. I'm sure it's not as easy as it sounds, but anyway, somebody's losing their phone privileges. See, I told everybody it was going to rain, so clearly she knew what was going to happen. Hey, I can see our school from up here. That's crazy. Haha, guess we'll call it a night, huh? If anyone wants to use the clothes dryer free of charge. Next time, we'll hand out dookie boards. He literally said dookie boards. And then somebody says, boogie boards? Boogie boards or a sailboat, your choice. When can I get my phone? When can I get my holophone back? How about never? does never work for you? No, it doesn't. When are we going back home? I miss my girlfriend and my real friends. You didn't even apologize, Richie. For what, Mom? Come on, really? Is that the attitude you're going to take? I was just messing around. You were showing off, and you know that's something the boy's a tinkerer, Rachel, just like his father. Speaking of showing off, what? I was just exercising. I heard the ladies want you to lead a neighborhood workout program. We're just talking. I don't want to commit to anything if we're leaving soon. Are we leaving soon, Daddy? Working on it, little sunbeam. Okay, I think we're all done here. We need to unwind and be ourselves. Let's go on a little adventure tonight. So it seems like the mother and the father know something that everybody else doesn't know, and it seems like she's trying to maybe distract from that conversation a little bit and take the conversation in another direction. Everybody wants to go home, so you see them, they're going somewhere. Where are they going? Is that the helicopter that you fly on a weather, Mommy? It is, Ray. Same exact one. Okay, everyone, ready? So now you see all of these arms on the controls of the helicopter. And at first I was like, what the heck is going on here? What are all these arms? Where did they come from? Let's have some fun. Yay, fun. I remember fun. About time. Yeah, about time. And they jump out the helicopter. She says, all right, Rockefellers, they jump out the helicopter. So I was thinking, so who's flying the helicopter? What's going on? And that's where you see the dog is actually some kind of cyborg dog. So they jump out the helicopter and you see, everybody's having fun, enjoying themselves. And she says, or he says, Hope Rex doesn't do any trick maneuvers. You'll believe a dog can fly. That's hilarious. So they're free falling, obviously having fun out the helicopter. Good boy, Rex. So Rex lands the plane. Again, Rex being a cybernetic dog. And then they all go back home. Everybody counting the days to going back home. That's how they're doing, Reggie. So this is Ronald talking to his brother. And you'll find this out here in a little bit. We're crying, waiting, hoping, praying. It's been a year, Roland. Nobody's getting acclimated or comfortable at all. It's been 358 days, 16 hours, 10 minutes, and 11 seconds, 12 seconds. Yeah, they're not liking this new timeline that they're in, or this new time that they're in. Okay, I get it. I told you we'd be able to zap you all back sooner, but what, Reggie? Wish there was better news, but I'm afraid there just isn't. There've been complications, little brother. Uh-oh, it's little brother. It's little brother time, which means you're going to pull rank and you see the grandfather looking at, his necklace that his wife left. That's, man, the way they did that is so tragic, man. It immediately pulled me into liking these characters that I never knew before reading this book. It's not about pulling rank. It's about the safety of your family, Roland. Your broken promises are tearing us at the seams bit by bit with every day that passes. Hey, your family is my family. Remember that. Sorry, Reggie. That was a cheap shot. After losing Mom the way we did, and that's exactly why I will do everything in my power to keep that from happening again. So we just keep on keeping on and under the radar until a green light, yes? Well, we're doing our best at trying to blend in, try harder, sail along with no wake behind you, no big hiccups that turn heads, no timeline spikes. Otherwise, we get eyeballs, and eyeballs are bad. Yeah. See, now we're on the same page. Reggie, I need you to say it out loud for clarity's sake. Say what? There's a chance that we may that we may be stuck here in. Don't say the date. I want to be able uh, to disavow any knowledge of your time zone in case of what? Look, just in case, okay? Okay, so we're here to stay. And something tells me that interaction with the brother is kind of strange. Something kind of tells me that maybe the brother is not all above board. Maybe I'm mistaken. So for the unforeseeable future, I take it, hey Rachel, hello Reggie, and Roland, make sure you check in at the appointed. Good night, Reggie. You guys be careful. Click. So she turned it off. She's probably just so sick of not hearing the information they want to hear that she's like, okay, I'm done with this. Well, Roland, now what? Our family, our lives, our future, all blown apart for good. And you see them looking at something and it says, because of this. And they're looking at something. What it is exactly, I don't know. And it says, next, rockin' round the Christmas tree. So look, the opening salvo for this book was very good. Very, very enjoyable. They did a good job selling the story to me, getting me invested into the characters, really making me fall in love with some of the characters that I've never known. Again, like I said, I wonder if this is what it felt like when people first read the Fantastic Four. This is a magnificent book. If you've not read this book, if you've not read any of the other books from Ghost Machine Comics, trust me when I tell you, you are missing out.